it? Good. Okay. All right. Good evening, dear parents, and welcome to yet another meeting in the pursuit of our high school journey. We have with us today Mr. Paris, who is the co-founder of the H3LF Foundation in Pune. H3 is Head, Heart, and Hands. Am I right, Paris? Head, Heart, and Hands 3 Learning Foundation. And it is in Pune, and he has kindly agreed to share his thoughts with us on the various boards and how they have come to choose a certain path because their community has gone through this whole process. And their own children are now in grade 11. In fact, I think Paris's daughter itself is now in grade 11, right?
Yeah, my son.
Your son, okay. And they are currently working with the chairperson of the Waldorf board, the New Zealand NZCSE. Yeah, and Karen Bryce, they are working and they are implementing various Waldorf blocks through the higher grades also. And currently they're opting for their immediate children, the NIOS exams for the time being, while they're keeping the Waldorf blocks alive for the current set of children and preparing the children for exams in order to. So I think what they have done is separate the learning for children from exams being only a platform to hop on to a university or college or something like that. I'm allowing Paris to talk about it. So it will be a very valuable experience, Paris, for us to hear about your insights and your journey in how you know, chose the boards. Um, and just to add that the H3LF Foundation is a school that starts from grade 5 and goes up till grade 12. That is their current interesting, Paris. I would also like to hear why you didn't start from grade 1 also. Maybe along your talk, you can tell us that also. Because usually it's very difficult to start from high school and expect children to come, in high school directly. But you have been brave enough to start from the higher classes and not from the lower classes. All right, over to Paris. And
Okay.
Paris,
So can everyone?
just as another input for yourself, we have, I don't know if Bashpika has told this to you, we have also been on this journey. We have researched on various boards and we have eliminated the CBSE and the ICSE from our side and wanted to choose boards that are more aligned with Waldorf education or help us to carry on with Waldorf education for as long as we can. So some of the choices we have now made are IGCSE, NIOS, and recently we heard about this New Zealand Waldorf board, and we are also in touch with Karen Bryce. Yeah, so that's the input for you. And a few parents who are part of the committee know about all these things. The rest of the parents do not know. So I just wanted to brief our journey also. Thank
Sure.
you. And over to Paris. Yeah.
Yes. So what I'll do is I'll just start with the easy ones. So why we started from grade 5 and not from grade 1? It was not bravery. It was just common sense for us. That is what was need of the hour. Our son was, I mean, usually in Waldorf, that's how it works. You start or you get into the education sector because of some kith or kin. Our son is guiding the path for us. That's why we chose high school. There was no high school doing the kind of work that we were expecting in high school, and that's why we chose to start from higher grades. Another thing was the examples that we had seen. We did some research in India and abroad of the schools that start from kindergarten. Most of the time, they are driven by founders, and by the time they get to high school, they probably lose energy. Now, money, hats off to you. You guys are really taking it. So, all strength to you, and really good work there. But you are more of an exception than the norm. Most of the schools they give up by grade 6, 7, or maybe 8, and then they cave into the pressure from the boards. We consciously chose not to do that because we were convinced, uh, not just in theory, but I'm an engineer from background, and I've run two companies successfully, sold them off, and now I'm into this is my new venture, so to speak. But I intend to be in this throughout my life now. So this is very close to heart. So all that said, that's why we started from grade five, because from grade five we experienced that the children from any background, be it alternative school, be it a conventional school, be it homeschoolers, it doesn't matter from which background, but it gives us 2 or 3 years to work with them and get them into this philosophy. Because Waldorf learning is a very unique way of learning for the children also. It's easy for the teachers to deliver blocks, but how the children receive it becomes more and more relevant in high school, and that's why they really need to be ready to receive what they have been given. Because as we go in high school, the teaching goes from like one-way teaching from the teacher to more of a facilitator role, where the teacher is a co-learner with the students, and there is a lot of peer learning happening. There is a lot of project work that goes on. So high school is a totally different ball game, and there are very few examples in the world that are still able to do high school as a world of school, and the results are phenomenal. Two examples that I can tell, both are from Australia. One is also in South Africa, but these two schools, Mount Barker and Willunga, they are like we visited there, and they're the children that get out of this system. They're really stars. Like they're unstoppable in any field that they choose. Like they are botanists, they are in politics, they are engineers, they are into theater, they are into acting, all sorts of fields. And the more important is they are okay to change with the time. They're okay to accept the days as they come, and they're not afraid of failure. And that's what these teachers whom we met, like the founders of these schools whom we met, that was a differentiator factor for them. And that's why that is what has given us strength to do this world of curriculum all the way to grade 12. It's the road is not easy, but we have a good, healthy community, just like your community here. They are with us in every decision that we make, and they see the benefit in, because we are sort of pioneering this. So there are no real examples in India who have gone through this system. But what we are able, or what we have been able to convince our community is that it really doesn't matter what board you choose, because we are going to give you a certificate. That is what you need for higher education. But with this world of pedagogy, we are giving you much more than the certificate. So, and certificate also, the journey, I'll get into that in a little bit later, how we came to this board and all that. But that is just a part of their entire learning journey. And we pay a lot of attention and a lot of emphasis on this special, like especially from grade 9 to grade 12. It's very crucial because these are like young adults, and the only purpose of education at this age is mainly to help them become an adult, because they're almost an adult, and all the problems that they will face in the world when they go out into the society, go out into the real world, how to help them, how to cater to those issues, how to handle all the pressures, how to handle the competition, how to handle the choices that you have to make, how to make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. So these are some of the things that we really work on closely. So it's not only about academics. We also have a lot of academics, but academics is a part of their entire learning journey. So uh, that's a like a brief bio on what we are doing, why we are doing. And any questions so far? Let's keep this like active session. If you have any questions, you can just raise your hand and ask it there, and then we'll go into the next phase, maybe of the choice of boards. But any question so far on just the general philosophy of choice of board? Let's put it that way.
I think we've started off very well, Paris. It's beautiful the way you've set the stage for us. We can open it up if parents have any questions or simply a contribution to what he has said, s- it will be nice, as he says, to have it as an interactive session.
Not at the moment, sir. We can continue. I think we can hear from Paras for some more time, and then maybe at least I don't have any question.
Okay, sure. No problem at all. I can go on for hours, but we don't have that much time. Uh, that's where we are. And now, when we were in grade seven, like that's when we started our journey. Our son was in grade seven. We had a healthy group of about five children with us at that time, and we all started discussing about grade 10 first before going to grade 12. So grade 10 was still 3 years in front of us, and we had time to really meticulously think about all the aspects and take the appropriate decision for our children or for this group of five children at that time. So we went through IB, we went through IGCSE, CBSE, ICSE, all these boards, and also NIOS. Now, what we realized is in India, at least, it doesn't matter from which board you're passing out. You just need a certificate with certain scores. Nowadays, there are grades, but they are also very varied in different systems. But you need a certain grade and you need that certificate. For all the professional courses, they have their own entrance exam, uh, which they're more keen on than your 10th and 12th marks. So as far as the entrance exams or as far as the university admission is concerned, for all the professional courses, they have their own entrance exam, be it law, be it medicine, be it engineering, be it accountancy, any of those. Now, for all others, like in arts or commerce or any other BSc level courses, they do look at your 12th marks, but for them also, what is more important is you have a certificate, and then if you nowadays this is becoming more and more common, especially with deemed universities, you need to have a portfolio along with your 12th or 10th examination certificate. Now, this portfolio is different for everyone. And if you are able to provide a portfolio with, okay, I've been good with some NCC, I've been good with some arts, I've been good with some sport, any of these extracurricular activities, what we traditionally call them, then they are given a higher weightage. So that's what we were going through. Then we also explored these foreign boards, IGCSE, IB. Now those are also given a lot of weightage, but the main thing is there is a big difference in perception and reality, is what we realized. Perception is that these boards are really important and they get more weightage in all the Indian universities or even abroad, but that's more of a perception than reality, because in reality we've seen many examples of children who have not gone through these boards but they fare really well and they get admissions in all the universities across the world, be it Oxford, be it MIT, be it Harvard, any of these. For them, for all these prestigious universities, for them a individual is or a holistic representation of individual is more important. So if you are able to give a portfolio along with your credentials, they really value that. At the same time, all the prestigious institutes in India, they go with all their own entrance exams. So it's basically a moot point which kind of board or which kind of certificate you're getting for India. So if you're really keen on going abroad for bachelor's, only then maybe these foreign boards play a little bit role. But otherwise, if you're not so keen, then it's really a moot point. It doesn't matter is the reality from which board. So then that brought us to the syllabus. Like what kind of syllabus are these boards offering? Because in the end, the exam is just a reflection of their syllabus. Like they have given these. Let's say I'll just take an example of physics because that's what I'm teaching. So in physics, let's say you have 10 topics, and out of these 10 topics, they will evaluate you on all the 10, and then they've been giving questions after questions for the past 15, 20, 25 years. and there is a lot of repetition no matter which board you choose. And the board exam is just a reflection of this syllabus. So they don't care how you do the syllabus. It just needs to be done. And then the exam is what is going to evaluate how well you have done or how well you have learned the syllabus. Now, in CBSE or ICSE schools, it is very stringent that there are the school laws are very critical. Like more than the learning, their emphasis is more on the infrastructure, more on the processes that the school is following. They really don't like rest of the things are less important, but these processes that the school needs to follow are more important to them than the student's performance. With IGCSE and IB, it's less important. They tend to give more leeway to the schools. But again, the syllabus is vast. It's like yeah, as compared to the Indian syllabus, it's all university level. And again, I'll go back to my first point, which is questioning what is it that we want the children to learn at this specific age. Do we want to give them just content? Do we want to give them, do they need to know how to make an atomic bomb or just know that there is an atomic bomb and if there is, how to deal with that? What is it that we want to give them? IGCSE or more content oriented boards, they give you all the specifics of the things that you really don't care about at this particular age. There is a lot of content which can be skipped and in Indian boards, in CBSE, in basically the NCERT framework, that is a beautiful representation of age-specific content for Indian context. Like they've given a really good mix of sciences and humanities as compared to the foreign boards, is what we found out in our research, and that made the choice a little bit easier. Like if we are Indians, if we are staying in India, if going abroad is not the immediate goal, then why take on something that is not close to us? So that's why we chose the Indian. So that's how we ruled out CBSE, ICSE because we didn't want that structure for the school. Then we ruled out IB because there was a lot of structure required from that. And then the requirements from the students is very strict. Like they require you to have a lot of project work, a lot of going in detail. So the content is very deep, and we felt with Waldorf pedagogy that you really don't need to go that deep. Yes, going deep is good in certain areas, but not in all areas. Uh, so that's why we ruled out IB. Now the choice was between IGCSE and NIOS. I'm covering NIOS last because you would know why. So then IGCSE was also a good option for us. It was very close. Like we some of us debated that yes, IGCSE is better than NIOS, but ultimately we chose NIOS for one main thing is the acceptance of IGCSE at that time for private candidates was not that much. Like specifically IITs, IIMs, they had categorically said that if you are coming from a private as a private candidate from any of the international boards, then you're not eligible. That was basically a red line for us for IGCSE. Another thing was, although they claim to give a lot of choice in subjects, it is really not. It boils down to the center from which you are giving the exam. So if I choose a certain center, they may offer 7 or 8 subjects at most because no one has all the faculty. And with IGCSE, it is required that if you want to opt for an exam for a particular subject, it needs to be offered by the center from which you are giving the exam. So then, in reality, your choice is limited to 7 or 8 subjects and not 75 odd subjects that they claim to offer. So that was on IGCSE side. Now, on the contrast, NIOS, we looked at it like from top down. So first we started with its syllabus because that was important to us. So syllabus wise, it is exactly as CBSE. It is following the same NCERT framework. In fact, the books are exactly same as what are followed in CBSE. So syllabus wise, we were content. Like it is giving us enough depth for a 10th, 11th, or 12th grade student to go deep enough in learning process. Then the second was there was no framework on school. So since NIOS is open schooling, all the students appear for it or apply for it independently. So that's de facto. It doesn't matter whether the child is going to a school or a learning center or where. So that gave us the freedom to choose how we want to uh, make the children ready for these exams. So that gives us like full freedom on how we want to teach the syllabus that they've given. So that was a very big plus or bonus point for us. Another thing was the acceptance of NIOS is global. So since its inception about 25, 30 years back, there has been a lot of debate, and then many cases have gone to courts, and the court has given numerous hundreds of orders for almost all the institutes, all the esteemed institutes in, in India or abroad. So, in a nutshell, NIOS is legally uh, accredited in any university. So, no university can reject a candidate because they are from NIOS. There are numerous court orders to back this claim, and we also went ahead and applied some RTI, so right to information, to all the esteemed institutes like all the IITs, IIMs, ISC Bangalore, ICSE in Pune, uh, mainly all the science-oriented higher universities, and we got a reply from them in affirmative that they are at par with CBSE or any other national board. So that gave us the confidence to uh, to go through this process, so that the certificate that our children will get at the end of 10th or 12th will be valid, and they will be at par with any other national boards. So that was so the choice for us was almost made at that point, and then this was actually the easy part. We had already identified this by the end of eighth grade, that this is what we are going to do for 10th and 12th. Uh, Two parents, they said that yes, they are totally fine with 10th, and then they will decide for 12th once the 10th is done. So then we started our journey on how to implement this, and how does NIOS uh, complement Waldorf. So I've spoken a lot so far. Any questions on this process of choice of board so far? Then I'll go into how we implemented that and all the rest.
Yeah, parents, put up your hands if you have any questions so we can.
And I'm being selfish in saying that because that gives me some chance to just sip water and take a break.
Yeah,
I have a
I,
question.
Madhu first and
yes.
Vandana next.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Probably a naive question. I mean, what does Word of itself prescribe, any syllabus for the 8th or ninth or 10th grade?
So, Waldorf, as you know, has been around for more than 120 years now, and there is no one single Waldorf board like IGCSE or like Cambridge that prescribes you what to do. But there are numerous examples of numerous samples curriculums that are available online, and we visited at least 15 or 16 schools all over the world in the last 3 years that we've been researching this, and we have syllabus from all those schools, and they're like very happy to share all this information. We'll be happy to share any information that we have, and what they have done, and especially in North America, Europe, and Australia, this Waldorf movement has been active, and they are like very research oriented, thought oriented, and they have formed certain associations of schools. So Australia has their own association, America has their own association, Europe has similarly. and they have come up with a curriculum. They have come up with a syllabus of their own for their region. And what they've done is like Waldorf pedagogy is all about making it local, making it work for you in your region. So for us, it was a really uphill task because in order to learn what is local, you just need to know first what is it that you want to teach. So your question is very valid. That was the first question that we also had. What is it that Waldorf is giving? So that then we did all this research and we found out that everything is in blocks. And right from grade 7 onwards till grade 12, there are very clear blocks. And so that made our life little bit easy. At least we knew what is it that we are dealing with, what is it that we are comparing with. So that was our first step to get the syllabus. So we have the complete syllabus for grade all the way up to 12, and I can share it with Mani probably later. And then you can see that there is a good parallel between, I mean, see, syllabus is syllabus. Physics is physics anywhere you go in the world. Literature is literature anywhere you go in the world. So that content of the syllabus doesn't really change a lot. But what changes significantly is your approach to the syllabus. So with what we have done is taken the, as Mani rightly pointed, is we've taken the learning aspect of for the syllabus from the exam point. So we do not talk about the exams at all. We only deliver these blocks with a single aim in mind, like how is learning going. Then we have a lot of processes also put in place in now, like what are the learning outcomes that every block needs to have. So we have a detailed lesson plan or a block plan. Then there is also assessment plan that comes before the block starts. And we've borrowed a lot of things from the New Zealand Steiner board because they do this beautifully. So we already started doing that. What we would be required to do once we go with them, if we go with them, that is, and we'll table that for now. But some of the processes that they have, they're beautiful. So we've borrowed that, and so any blogs that we deliver, they are so the content is a mix of what is in Waldorf and from NIOS. Because at the end of the day, at the end of 10th and at the end of 12th, these children will have to give that exam. So this content will have to be covered one way or the other. So using the syllabus, using the content from the NIOS syllabus, we formulate our block structure or block is structured that way, and then all the learning is delivered in a way so that most of their content. So we aim for about 60 to 80% of their syllabus for the board exam is covered. So for 10th, right from the 8th grade, we start taking in, and but the students don't know about that. Students don't know that what is doing in NIOS, what is the exam, nothing. But the teachers, they know what the children are going to write at the end of 10th exam. So they borrow the content that they are supposed to deliver in their block from the NIOS syllabus. Does that
Thanks.
does that answer it a little bit?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. It actually answers subsequent questions, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I think next was Vandana.
Yeah. Vandana, would you like to go? And then Bashpika?
Vandana, you're on mute.
Okay, Bashpika, can you go? And then we can have Vandana if she's all.
Yeah, I have two questions. One is that what we have heard is that math and sciences are not, very strong with NIOS board. This is some kind of thought that is also there with many people. What do you have to say about that? And the other one is, at some point, are you looking at getting affiliated to Waldorf board? As you said that you have already started working with the New Zealand people, is something that I would like to know. That's it. Thanks.
Okay. So the first part is again, it's a myth that the maths and science part is not that great. You can go to NIO's website and you can look at their content. Uh, it is NCERT framework. So it is exactly the same books, same content that you would find in any CBSE or ICSE curriculum, because they are all following the same NCERT framework, which is almost for 15, 20 years old now. I have also learned from the same framework. It is really catered for Indian mindset and Indian setting. And as Indians, we are naturally inclined to sciences and maths, and they do complete justice to that. Now, that said, uh, we are, and that's why I said with every block we decide on a block to block basis. So on sciences, although in at 10th level there is only one science subject in NCRT, in NCRT and in NIOS, but in Waldorf, right from grade 7 you have separate sciences, you have separate physics, separate chemistry, separate biology, and they go much deeper than what NIOS requires. So when our children gave the 10th exam, it was really a piece of cake, because the content that was covered in Waldorf was almost 12th or even first year BSc level. So they really go deep because the consciousness demands that the children really have capacities built in for getting more. So they do get more, and that only means that the exam is going to be that much more easier for them. But again, as I said, we do not bring the exam in the mix. We focus on learning, and the Waldorf blocks are very rich. And once I show all the block plans and what content is going in these blocks, you'll be amazed that these grade 8, 9, 10 children in ninth, for example, we just finished a grade 9 chemistry block, and the children's learn to distill ethers, alcohols. They make their own scents. They recently visited a sugar factory, and they understood the entire sugar factory process. And the people there were amazed. Like in grade 9, I mean, people don't even know that how sugar comes. They just know that it comes from packet, and they just love to eat sugar. But making it, knowing the entire distillation process, it's unheard of. They made their own wine, although they love to taste it, but we limited that to one drop. But they really distill their own wine. And in the biology block, and again, it is all interconnected. In the biology block, they are learning about the physiology. So, what effect wine or any of these life-giving or life-taking substances have on your own body? That helps them in making decisions later on in their life. So some of the students, they have already concluded that they are never going to taste alcohol. They now know what goes in making it, and what effect it has on your body, for how long. So these are the learnings that come out naturally out of these blocks. Now, no board talks about this. No board says, okay, what is the effect of certain chemical on you? Yes, they may give you examples like CH plus OH2 equal to something, but that has very little meaning in reality. Uh, so that's a little longer answer to your maths and sciences. Sorry, again, this covered sciences, but on maths. So in maths, we are very lucky. We are following Jamie York Academy. So he's really a math missionary. Uh, he's brought out the entire syllabus right from grade 1 to grade 12, and it's a beautiful syllabus. It covers algebra, geometry, surveying. So all these things are brought in, not just from a theoretical perspective, but also application. Like for instance, in sixth, seventh, eighth, you start with a lot of mental maths, because in real life, you're not going to take a calculator to make calculation, basic calculations. I go to a market, I see a board where it is 8% off on a 1,000 rupee product. How much of money will I save? This is you need to do in less than seconds, and that's the capability that is built when you go through this process, rather than doing cost 30 of this. What is that? Really, who cares? It's not that they don't learn this, but that is not required skill. If it is required in the exam, yes, we do cover that. also, like trigonometry is a big part of grade 10 maths. But again, there is a lot of application on that. There is an entire block dedicated for surveying. So surveying is a uh, cross discipline block which like converges a lot of trigonometry, a lot of geography, a lot of some historical part also, and then a lot of will work. Like you're standing in the sun or rain for hours in a day for almost 3 weeks, and that itself tells you a lot about a math and also about resilience. Like it's okay to make mistakes, but then you have to go back and then retake the readings, and you have to take the readings for almost 70 to 80 times. So all these skills, you get opportunity to work with the children on these skills. If you are too locked down in one particular mindset of the exam, you lose out on this opportunity. Is what that's actually what drives us.
Hi, Vandana here. I was unable to unmute at that time. I'll just see if, yeah, it works. Thank you. I think it clarifies a lot of stuff. It also confuses you a little bit, but I think it's a good way to start, at least hearing all the perspective. Um, is there anything specifically you
Vandana,
observed as challenges per se, not for teachers or as bored as you, but for students? I think just because I've heard a lot about this transitioning and all of that. My son's in grade 4, so I'm not so worried about it yet. I'm actually seeing him thriving in this system. But practically speaking, has been any observations you have seen, or do you think that it kind of does not matter about the board? It's just about from a kid to kid.
Actually, it's not kid to kid. All the children are pretty much the same. Uh, it's just that their faculties, their skills are different. Some are more oriented to sciences, some are naturally inclined to commerce, some are naturally inclined to various other things, some are also inclined to cross. So some may be interested in arts and maths. They may be interested in theater and music, all at the same time. So if we are giving this opportunity for them to blossom till a longer time, it's like giving a gestation period for any process to complete. You have to let it simmer for that long, and then it is made. So it's the same thing. Waldorf is also it's common sense, if you ask me. So what they're doing is they are delaying the choice made by the students until they are 18 or 19 years when they are really ready to make that choice, so that the chances of making a wrong decision are less. I'm not saying it is anything is 100%. Nothing in the world can be 100% here or there, but at least it improves the chance. And the downside is very less. I mean, what are you going to or what are you losing out on? Nothing. You are getting a certificate at the end of the day, which is valid anywhere in the world. But I mean, all the universities these days, especially after AI, a lot of emphasis is given on your skills, which are not just academic, because we all know like getting into IIT is 2 years of ratta, just mug up, solve questions. So, the skills are on solving the questions rather than learning. So we've seen so many examples where someone who has aced an IIT exam, they literally fail in the first or second year of engineering because they don't know anything of that. They only know how to solve these math problems. They only know how to solve these logical reasoning problems because they've done thousands of them. But that doesn't prepare them for the real world or the real learning, which is what is happening in universities. Because in university, no one cares. The professor doesn't care whether you have learned something or not. They just come there, they give their lecture. It is up to the student to assimilate or get what they want from it. So by the time we are making them into adults, this urge for learning or this ability to learn is what is we need to work more on. So their capability to learn on their own self is what the crux is of education at this particular age. So to answer your question, the choice of boards, does it really matter? If you ask me, no. But there is a big perception that we all have to work against, and it is really not the norm. A few years back, there was a big debate with and I really like this analogy, is generic medicines versus pharmaceutical medicines. So there was a lot hue and cry, like the doctors would also say, if you go for a generic medicine, then we do not take any responsibility. Now, in reality, they do not take responsibility for anything. They may prescribe the medicine, you may take the best medicine in the world, but even if something doesn't work, they are not going to take any responsibility for that. But when they are saying, that's what the fear mongering, that's how the marketing works, is like if you take the generic medicine, then it is bad. You are on your own. This is all fear mongering. So if you ask me, the boards, what is the reason why is IGCSE exam, why does it cost 20,000 for one paper? I mean, it's business, if you ask me. Like yeah, it's a money minting machine, and the costs are really not that high to justify like why would a question paper cost that much, right? Like no matter how where you're doing it, even if you're doing it on Mars, with the technology these days, it cannot cost you so much. But it is what it is. So you just have to weed through all these information and then take the decision what makes most sense to you.
Is that okay, Vandana? Can we move on? All right, Pratap and then Netra.
Hi, Paras. There was a second question by Bashpika. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, there was a second question saying that now that the New Zealand board is coming in and we have heard rumors that you are going to work with them, how does that affect your curriculum? Or, in other words, have you already come up with a curriculum for your institution? And are you going to change it now that you're going to work with the Waldorf board?
So, yeah, I think we'll have to merge that. That was going to be the last section of this meeting. But I think it's good that we are asking questions, so we'll just go with the flow. So on the New Zealand Steiner board, what they do is they do not give you any curriculum. There is
Or
absolutely zero.
we can deal with this at the end if you wish.
No, that's fine. It's a good time, I think, that it has come up twice now. So I think that's what the group energy is. We'll go with that. Now, first we need to understand what this New Zealand Steiner board is. They are being a Waldorf board, and Waldorf inherently does not believe in standardizing anything. So they do not give you a diktat on this is what you need to teach. Their New Zealand Standard Board, they have not given you any textbook. This is what 3-year system, very similar to IGCSE, level 10, level 11, and level 12. So they call it level 1, 2, 3, respectively. But what they have done is you decide your own curriculum, and we are only going to evaluate on how you evaluate or how your teachers assess the students. So let's say I'll take one example. So let's say our physics block is going on. Now we decide what the physics syllabus is. Now to answer your later part of the question, have we already come up with our own syllabus? Yes, we already have our syllabus. We already have our curriculum, all the way from grade 5 to grade 12, and that is in line with NIOS, because that's our chosen examination board. Because our students need to be ready to give this examination also at the end of grade 10 and 12 respectively. So that's how we have formulated our syllabus. Now, the Steiner board is supporting that, because what we've done is we've taken best of all worlds. So like I said, in chemistry, we are doing way more than what any board, even IGCSE doesn't demand that you need to know about alcohols and ethers at grade 9, but we are doing that. That's because the the Waldorf way, or the knowledge that we have gained from our exposure to Waldorf uh, mentors, they go deep in that, and that is what is touching the consciousness of that child. So with the syllabus that we have, we can directly go into NGCSE or New Zealand Steiner Board without making any change, because all that they say is we are going to assess your teachers on the assessment methods. So in a physics block, they have given like, okay, you need to keep a daily log or daily journal of any little changes or any little things that the students are doing. Let's say, and again, it is particular, it is student centric. So if you have a class of 25 students, then you need to have that journal for all the 25 students. And then periodically during the block, you have to make certain assessments and then log them. And at the end of the block, you have to give them, or you have to create a small report. And that report is what is sent to NGCSE. So they are just going to check whether the teacher who is taking the block has assessed the child properly or not. Have they given them enough qualitative as well as quantitative feedback? And because any assessment is basically for the child to get better. So has the teacher given enough feedback to the child to make certain aspects of their learning in that block better or not? And if they find any anomaly, that's when they send out certain reminders to these teachers. And then for the initial 2 or 3 years, they handhold this until your entire teacher community in your school is comfortable with this system, in this assessment system. And once they are comfortable, then they just take a sampling, random sampling. If you have 25 students, they'll just sample maybe 3 or 4 reports randomly, and based on that, they will either say yes or no for that assessment. Like whatever grade, whatever marks, whatever gradation you have given to that child, is it accepted for all the students or not? That's what this new standard board has done. So they do not interfere with the curriculum. They have given certain guidelines on what you do in grade 10, 11, and 12. But again, these are only guidelines because the syllabus is different. In Australia, it is different. Even in New Zealand, it is very different. In Europe, it is all again different in America. But this Steiner board is accepted or accredited in almost 25 countries throughout the world now. So following all different syllabus or following all different curriculums. As I said, like Australia itself has their own curriculum, Europe has their own curriculum. So that's how they've done it. Does that answers that
Yes, yes,
question?
yes. But have you decided to accredit yourselves with the New Zealand board or not?
So we have decided to, I mean, we have already gone one step ahead and given our initial sort of intention and also paid the fees and all that. There was some paperwork required for that, so we already done that. But we are taking our time to decide when we discontinue NIOS and only go with NGCSE because in India, especially, what happens on ground is very different than what is on paper. So we are going to basically observe this board for at least 3 or 4 years, how it progresses, how it is accepted in general universities, and then take the decision to really transition to that. But we are really taking all their processes, as I said in assessments. We already started that with our teachers. So whenever we take that decision, our teachers will be ready, and we can go with almost minimal notice.
Okay. Have you also agreed to the annual fee that is levied upon the school, the close to 12.25 lakhs?
So it is it is only once you officially take that on that annual fees of 25 lakhs or so. That's for the entire school, and for every student, it is very less. Again, it is a fraction of what you would pay for IGCSE or even fractionally less for IB as compared to that. So the cost is really not a barrier in this case, but the main driving factor here is the acceptance of that board in Indian society. So we are just waiting for that.
So,
Thank you.
Paras, are you saying that the uh, annual fee is not compulsory and children can only the children's fees have to be paid right
No,
now?
no, no. So it is only required when you officially accept that board.
Okay.
So we have not officially accepted that board yet, but we are privy to all the information that they share because we have gone through the initial stages of, or we have shown our intent.
And
And
when you say you
since
paid the fee, what fee have you paid then?
so there is a minimal fee. What was it? It was last
It's a
year. It was
one-time
about
application
25.
fee.
Yeah, one-time application fee of over 2,500 New Zealand dollars.
Okay,
Correct.
got it.
It's exactly 2,500 New Zealand dollars plus GST.
Yeah, so we've only paid that, and that gives you access to all the information to make a decision whether or not you want to take that board when it becomes available. Now, the New Zealand board is also very open right now because it is new, and they have not sown their seeds. They have not or they are not rooted yet. So they are also willing to work with any organization who is giving any interest. So I think uh, we are benefiting from that.
How many children do you have in your institution, Paras?
Right now we have 26.
But there are two separate fees. One is an annual student levy, which comes to around 125 New Zealand dollars plus GST. That is
Mhm.
per student. And then there is an annual accredited provider fee, which is about 20,000 New Zealand dollars plus GST, which is an annual fee.
Right. So
So you're
that
saying
is
you're okay with
only,
that for just
yes,
26 children?
yeah, we are okay. I mean, see, 26 children. This is only the third year, and since we have only started with a high school, we know that it is going to take maybe another couple of years to get the numbers. But our expectation is by end of next year we should have about 100 children. And the timing wise, we should be ready to accept New Zealand Steiner board in maybe another 2 to 3 years. So timing wise, it will all match up.
Thank you. That answers my question.
Yeah, Netra and then Rupashri.
Hi, good evening, sir. I think we've had a lot of input from your end today. I think it was a good session. One point I really liked was that when you said at your child, when he or she is at 16 years, to make a decision of what mainstream education he or she has to get for their grade 11. So yeah, I think each one of us have gone through that journey when we were in 10th, dreading what to do next. So your parents make the choice, oh, you're good in science, you should do science. You're good in math, you should do math. If you're good in something else, you choose art. If you're not good in anything, go to arts. So this is a kind of thing what we have gone through. That is one thing. Yeah, I think it's a good thing that you know that is you're just actually giving more time for the child to decide what he or she likes. My question here is, um, you said for NIOS board examination for the 10th grade, you prepare the child from grade 8, right? So my question is, how are the teachers trained? So do you have subject teachers for physics? So science itself has three sections like physics, chemistry, biology. Social science has more subjects. How do you actually have faculty trained to it, or do you have different teachers coming in? I mean, in your own personal experience, how has it happened? Like, is there any training which the teachers go through this, and how long will it take for the teachers to get trained? And how does the process happen? I mean, see, my child is in grade 3, and we have in the other students in grade 7, they're going to grade 8 next year. So, what is the time which a teacher needs to, like go through this entire process? Are there many people coming and teaching, or is the teacher facilitating and just the subject teachers come in? Just wanted to know about that.
Sure. So, especially in higher grades, grade 8 onwards, most of the learning is done by subject teachers. Uh, so we only look at two things when we look for a teacher. One is their subject matter expertise. It is the most important. So if it's physics, then how good are they in physics? So we look for at least a bachelor's degree, be it BSc or engineering. It turns out that most of our faculty are engineers, and they are here for the love of education. And that is the second aspect. How much do they love to teach and be with children? These are the only two things that we look for, and so their passion for education. Once we have these two, we have a sort of a training program or a training module for training them in the Waldorf way. Now, Uh, from n number of mentors, we have only learned that this is a journey. This is an individual journey for every teacher on how to teach or what to how to learn these in classroom processes, these rhythms, all of this. I mean, no matter what kind of uh, uh, let's say a 6 month program or a 1 year program, training program, no matter how much they attend, at the end of the day, it is mostly learning on the job. And most of the Waldorf teachers, they've been in their profession for 30, 40, 50 years. They have told the same thing to us. Like they have learned most of the things on the job. And that's what we look for. If they have the passion, they will learn. And with every year, they will learn more. And but we initially we do give them some Waldorf trainings. There is very little training available in India right now for high school, but we send our teachers to all the international conferences. So the one that happens in Kassel every year in Germany, our teachers go there. All the humanizing workshops that happen in India, most of our teachers go there. Then next year we're also planning to send them to Australia. There is a big conference that happens every year. So these are some of the training opportunities that we give to our teachers, and then it's mostly on them to learn and then bring it in the classroom. And um, for support on block planning, for support on assessments, they like we have mentors throughout, and that's what they so every teacher has a mentor that they can work on, especially for sciences, maths, and also humanities, and that has really helped us a lot. And we are quite what should we say? We're learning as we are growing. But when we started this journey 3 years back, we had five students, and almost the same year we had about 12 teachers. And then next year we had 22 teachers. So we really don't know how we are attracting this talent, but I think it is just based on the freedom that we give the teachers, and it is just their own passion to teach. And luckily, we are in a region in Pune where there is no dearth of talent. There is no dearth of these fantastic individuals who want to teach.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Rupa, you can go. Rupa? Rupa teacher? Okay, in the meanwhile, anybody else would like to ask a question? We are at 7:34.
Hello. Yeah, sorry, I was unable to mute and now I'm. Hello, sir. Good evening. Yeah, just wanted to know about NIOS, the board exams they conduct, the procedure. How you feel about it? Is that good or they have to improve? Because I heard that before the exams, just once we do the registration or something, the children has to write TMA before reading any subjects. So all this process, exams process, how the school is going. Can you please explain about this?
Yes, so yeah, I mean there are loopholes. I wouldn't say it is one of the best administered board, but one best thing of that is everything is online. You don't have to go to any office or any school or anything. Everything is online, and right from the registration, and it's like very clear instructions. They have a nice dashboard where every student gets their own dashboard where they can take on all these TMAs. Usually TMAs are given in January, which is about 2 months before the exam. So the expectation is that the child has already covered about 40% of the syllabus, and these TMAs cover 40% of the syllabus, and the remaining 60% is what is taken in the final exam. So the TMA is separated, and it's pretty easy that way because TMA is an open book exam. They just or they just post the exam questions online, the dashboard. You have to download the questions, write those answers on your own time, and then upload those answers on again on the dashboard. so you don't have to go anywhere, and that covers 40% of your syllabus. Now, for the final exam, which typically happens in April, May, only remaining 60% of your chosen subjects is to be given or is covered for that from the syllabus. So that way is it's pretty straightforward. There have been some delinquencies. We've also heard that luckily none of our children had any bad experience, but we have had some. We've learned about that. Like maybe there was a miscalculation in the result, or there was a they missed adding the TMA marks in their final mark sheet. But again, for addressing those, they have a nice redressal system or a like a ombudsman kind of a system on their portal. You just raise a issue, and there is a time bound. So every 15 days they have to reply, and if you are still not satisfied, you can always go to the regional office, whatever regional office every region has that. Maharashtra has one in Pune, luckily, it's close to us. But I'm sure that there would be a regional office somewhere close by. You can also go there in person and raise it there. But we didn't have to go there, or I haven't visited them even once so far. Everything has been online, and we chose a center because in NIOS you have to choose a center, two centers actually. So one center is for your TMAs and PCP, what they call. It's a personal contact program. That is basically you just have to attend two classes for one subject throughout the year, and it's really not a great requirement. Those PCPs are only available for, or they make sense for the students who have absolutely no learning support. The government has made provision for these PCPs so that you can go there and you can get answers to your queries. But if you're going through a learning system like the students that were uh, being taught by us, they had no questions, so they could skip all those PCPs. They only had to attend one or maximum two for every subject. So in all, they only attended, I think, 8 to 10 lectures throughout the year.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Are there any more questions? We are at 7:40 now, so we can, if nobody has any questions, we can bring it to a close.
Yeah.
Paras,
And
you have anything else to say? Any few last words that you want to close with, and then
I would say that this is a tough decision for every parent, and uh, for us at least, and few mavericks like us, we took the leap of faith, and we are not having any second thoughts, or we are really happy with our decision. So if you are in that boat where you kinda agree with it, but you are under some pressure, then just know that yes, there is really a good light at the end of this tunnel, and you'll just be fine. Whichever board you choose.
all
Bashpika has
right.
something. I
All
just
right. Thank
saw
you so
she
much.
raising her hand.
Who's
So,
raising?
I think Bashpika raised her hand, or maybe it
Yeah.
was an error.
We still have questions. Please ask quickly.
Maybe not. Maybe it was a mistake. All right.
Okay. Anybody else?
Pallavi has a question.
Pallavi?
so
Yeah.
I don't have a question, but I just want to conclude what I have understood is whether NIOS or IGCSE, whatever it is, that shouldn't be the factor for a child's journey, right? What I understand from Paras is it is the way Waldorf has given the system which will help the child no matter what board they choose, right? And since we are in Indian context, NIOS becomes one of the simplest choice for us, right? That's what I understand.
That's pretty good summary.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. It was a great session, Paris. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Sure, no problem at all.
Thank you, Paras. Thank you for giving your time, and you seem to have done a lot of research, and you've gone down to the very basics of what is education, and why we have to choose this path. And you come
Stop,
also
Nitek.
with the combination of being a teacher and a parent, a high school
So,
teacher and a parent. So
fan
it's
up.
really thrown up a lot of clarity and depth for our decision. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm
Anybody else?
glad
Yeah.
you could get all of that from me.
No, I think every question was taken, and without any doubt in your mind, you have kind of thrown light on all the questions in a very simple and nice way. So that really was encouraging for us. Thank you so much. Is there
Okay.
anybody else who would like to say a word of thanks to
Thank you
Paris?
so much. Hi, Paris. Sorry, I was unable to. Oh, this is Bashpika. I think I've joined from laptop because I was unable to unmute from my phone. And the name is Nitek here. Um, thank you so much for all the valuable information and a great deal of research that you have shared with us, that you have done. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and sharing all this with us, with our community. Also,
Sure,
just
no
a
problem at all.
last question that in in 10th grade, do children have some time to focus on exams? Do you have the time? Or is it the curriculum is designed in such a way that they are well prepared by the end of the probably March or April?
So what we've done is, and this worked really well for us, is we designed the curriculum in such a way that the first 10 months until January, we did not do anything about the exams. We only covered all the blocks, but as I said, the content, the syllabus was borrowed from NIOS. So the children had already covered the content by January. Now, from February onwards is when we actually started their exam preparation. So that was also taken as a block because all our children were habituated to a block structure, because in a block you have a main lesson block and then also ancillary or subject lessons like music, art, and they are really good in breathing out activity. It really helps on their overall learning process. So this exam block also for almost 2 to 2.5 months, that is when we worked on their exam writing skills, because exam is all about how you present yourself. It is not just about the content that you know, it's more to do with how much and how you are presenting it. If it's a 2 mark question, then how long do you write? Do you write it as a paragraph or do you write it as bullet points? So these are the exam skills that you need to learn. And 2 months were more than enough for our children to learn them. The first 15 days were it took them 2 weeks to get used to this kind of, because it is very uh, like it's not natural for them, because until January they were focusing on learning. They had nothing to write, nothing to. They would only reproduce it in their main lesson book, which is basically a reflection, but not because someone has asked a question. So it took them only 2 weeks to change the mode, and then the rest of it was pretty easy. So the 4 weeks after that were just we giving, or we had basically Paula and I was expert, and they would spend hours with them on refining their skills, refining their writing. Like sometimes they would write a little long, sometimes very short, not so clear, in pencil, with pen. There were so many skills that were required. They learned that, and then towards the end, we only solved papers. So we solved, I think, the question papers for last 5 years, and that really helped them getting into the habit of writing. Sitting in one place for 2.5 hours, that itself was a challenge in the beginning. But I mean, they did pretty well, because we still had games. We had art going on in that exam block, and I think that helped, because we during the exam block, our school time was from morning 8 till evening 6, and even after going back home, they had one little assignment to complete. So spending so much time in the school and then going home doing little bit thing, it was taxing on that. But actually, after the exam, we had a sharing circle with all the students, and they were really happy with whatever was done, because what they would say is, "Arey, in our societies, their peers or their friends would be all the time busy in this tuition class, in this thing, in this paper series, whatever throughout the year, and what marks they got were little more than what they received. So they were like, we only studied for 2 months technically, and we fared really well. So that's how they ended the 10th exam period. It was on a high note.
Thank you so much, Paris. That was beautiful to listen to. Thanks.
All right. Thank you once again. And thanks to all the parents. There are about 23 people with us. I hope more had come. I am sure that you will all take the message to the rest of your friends in different classes also. Thank you, parents. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Mani,
sir.
I'll share the recording with you.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Paras. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Paras.